This morning, the first criminal trial connected to the Robb Elementary School shooting is moving into its next phase.
Yeah, so after more than 11 hours of jury selection yesterday, that jury now seated in the case against Adrian Gonzalez. He's a former Uvalde CISD police officer.
Now, the case was moved down to Corpus Christi, and in one day, attorneys questioned nearly 450 potential jurors before selecting 12 and 4 alternates. And now attention is going to turn to what comes next and how this historic trial will unfold.
Our senior crime and justice reporter, Rebecca Lopez, was one of the only reporters allowed inside that courtroom yesterday. Rebecca, let's look to today and what everybody should be watching for. It should be a very big day.
It is. This is going to be a very heavy day. The victims' families have begun arriving here in Corpus Christi, and many are expected to be in that courtroom. And this is the moment that they've been waiting for. They've been asking for someone to be held accountable for what happened with the police response during the Robb Elementary School shooting. And that case is going to be laid out by the prosecution starting this morning, you guys.
Now, we've heard prosecutors say this case is about a duty to act, while the defense argues responsibility doesn't fall on just one officer. How clearly were those battle lines already drawn during jury selection?
Kara, I was the only reporter allowed into the courtroom during jury selection, and I will tell you, I've covered a lot of jury selections. This was by far the most intense. I was actually surprised at how outspoken the potential jurors were. Many of them had already made up their minds about Adrian Gonzalez's guilt, and they were very emotional. They were outspoken. They basically said that someone should have acted. They felt that there was a lot of officers out there that could have done more. And that's what the defense is going to say. The defense is going to say, look, it was not just one person. There were a lot of officers out there that could have done something. It should not just fall on one person's shoulder to have acted. And so that's going to be the defense, that Adrian Gonzalez was not in charge that day and should not be held accountable for what happened. However, prosecutors are pushing back, saying, look, he was out there. It was his duty as a school resource officer to do something. By state law, that is what he's compelled to do, and he didn't act. So it will be up to a jury to decipher all of that and determine guilt or innocence. It's expected to last at least 2 weeks, with opening statements beginning at 9 o'clock. At 8:30, they're going to hear a few pretrial motions, and then we'll begin hearing the prosecution's case. Kara.
Oh, this is going to be an emotional few weeks. Okay, Rebecca Lopez, thank you so much for the insight. We're going to provide gavel-to-gavel coverage on WFA Plus, starting with opening statements. So senior investigative reporter Tanya Iser and a panel of legal experts will walk all of us through the evidence presented in the case and then offer you analysis you're not going to find anywhere else. The coverage begins at 8 this morning on our free streaming app.